everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reading Amelia Bedelia Cleans Up Chapter 2. So without further ado, let's get started. But before we get started, we're going to do the like and subscribe button challenge. You gotta hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell in 5 seconds with your thumb. Can you do it? There's only one way to find out.
5,
4, 2, 1.
If you did, give yourself a pat on the back.
Let's actually get started. Amelia Bedelia Cleans Up by Herman Parrish. Pictures by Lynn Averill. Chapter 2. Happy Landing. Amelia Bedelia rolled over and opened her eyes. She was lying flat on her back. Out of her right eye she saw a bright blue sky. Her left eye was looking up into an enormous canopy of green leaves. She had flown for just a few seconds, but here she was looking at the same thing every bird looks at every day: blue sky to soar through and branches to rest on. She checked herself over to see if anything was broken. She knew that her 2 eyes still worked. She lifted her right arm and then her left arm. Okay so far. She lifted up her left leg and then her right one. Check. Slowly she sat up and looked around. She was in much better shape than her bike. Her bike was busted. The front wheel was twisted into something like a figure 8. "Amelia Bedelia!" shouted Heather. "Amelia Bedelia!" yelled Holly. She could hear them, so Amelia Bedelia figured that her ears must be okay too. She answered, "Over here!" Heather and Holly dropped their bikes on the sidewalk and came running through the empty lot. When they saw Amelia Bedelia next to her crunched bike, they hurried to kneel down beside her. "Are you okay?" said Holly. "Why'd you ride your bike through this junky lot?" Heather asked. "I was trying to take a shortcut," answered Amelia Bedelia. She looked at her left knee. It was scraped. She looked at her right elbow. It was bloody. "Only I'm the one who got cut," she added. "From now on I'm taking only long cuts." Maybe that didn't sound very adventurous, but it would be safer. "We would have waited for you," said Holly. "You're lucky you didn't really get hurt," said Heather. "You could have landed on this." She held up something that looked like a giant corkscrew. "Or that," said Heather. She pointed to a board with nails in it. There was junk everywhere. Amelia Bedelia hadn't seen it when she decided to ride through the empty lot, because the long grass and scrubby bushes hid all the trash, but it was there all right. "Yikes," said Holly. "Maybe adventure isn't all cracked up to be here. My bike helmet isn't cracked either," said Amelia Bedelia. She took it off and patted it affectionately. "I'm glad I had it on." Holly helped Amelia Bedelia to get to her feet. Amelia Bedelia hopped a few steps and decided that her sore knee was not too bad. She could walk on it. And that was good, because it looked like she would have to walk home. "Let's go," said Heather. "I don't like this old lot, and that house is really spooky." "You don't like the lot?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "But it's perfect!" She looked around. So did her friends. They saw tall grass, big rocks, broken bricks, crumbling cinder blocks, empty cans, bits of metal, twists of wire, old tires, falling apart chairs, and a giant oak tree. Amelia Bedelia limped to the tree. The trunk was so wide that her arms could not reach all the way around it. It was so tall that it rose above the houses on either side of the lot. The leaves and branches were so thick that when Amelia Bedelia tipped her head back, she could not see the sky. "Perfect," said Holly. "Perfect for what?" "For our new clubhouse," said Amelia Bedelia. "Our explorers' clubhouse." Heather looked at Holly. Holly looked at Heather. Heather and Holly both looked at Amelia Bedelia. "Maybe you'd better sit back down," said Holly. "I think you might have hit your head harder than you thought." "Are you sure your helmet isn't cracked?" "I'm fine," Amelia Bedelia said, "and so is my helmet, and so is this tree. This is where we should have our clubhouse, a treehouse clubhouse." Holly looked up. So did Heather. Holly started to grin, and so did Heather. "We could get up and down with a ladder," said Holly. How about a climbing rope? Said Amelia Bedelia. A rope ladder, said Heather. Great, said Holly. We could pull it up after us and be completely on our own, like we were on a desert island. We could have windows, said Heather. A telescope, said Holly, so we can see what's happening all over town. A hammock, said Heather, so we can lie down in the sun. A roof, said Holly, so we can rest in the shade. A slide for getting down, said Heather. Or a pole for sliding down, said Holly. It's perfect, said Heather. Even though you found it by accident, Amelia Bedelia. It wasn't that bad an accident, said Amelia Bedelia, rubbing her sore, and it was totally worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a huge thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Remember that the next subscriber gets to pick the next video that I make that is related to my channel. So, make sure to subscribe so you can do that.